Namaskar. Adi Shankara wrote, Bhajagovindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Rakshati, Sutrum Karane. So, what this means is that worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda, O deluded mind, at the time of your death. Rules of grammar will not save you. Today, we are going to continue on what we've been talking about Sanatani sleepwalking. They appear to be waking up just from what I'm seeing in terms of response from various parts of the world. And I have back with me Kushal Kelkar, who's going to be guest hosting the show to converse with Jayanthi Chandramouli. Here we go. Let's welcome our guest of the day. Kushal, Jayanthi, namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel.
Namaskar. Pleasure to see you again.
Same here.
Thank you so much, Jayanthi, and thank you so much, Kushal, for your gift of time to come and participate on our Hangout and share your thoughts on what is the International Women's Day. By the way, it is still the Women's Day in the United States at the time of recording. Also, a happy Holi day to all of you. And I'm going to log off, or I'm just going to go into the background now and let Kushal take over from here. Kushal, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sri. Hi, Jayanthi.
Hi, Kushal.
So nice to actually have you again on the show. And, today is International Women's Day here in the United States, still ongoing, right? And so I wanted to ask you, I saw that you actually got to host your own show today for the first time on P Guru's for International Women's Day. How was that?
Yeah, that was really, really wonderful. We had a wonderful guest, Richa Gautam, and she's doing so much work for Hindu refugees and Hindu women in particular, and protecting the Devis among us. So that was just the perfect thing to talk about on Women's Day, because we have to protect the women among us. So
that's amazing. So how's your experience? Any thoughts from that? How was it for you to listen to her and?
It was wonderful. Like I said, I mean, she's an inspiring person, and it was wonderful to see Hindu women standing up as strong Devis. So she's an inspiration to all Hindu women and men as well. But just to see that, to be able to platform that, that was just very special. Because like we talked about earlier, we have a lot of attacks coming our way, which demoralizes us. So it's important to have positive, just have examples of people doing positive work to take down some of the negative narratives that have been used to attack Hinduism and to destroy civilizational pride. And so that was just wonderful.
That's amazing to hear. And you're absolutely right. There's so much going on, especially in the world right now, against Hindus. And so it's very important to have voices like hers and such as yourself to actually talk about these things and address them so that everybody can get to learn about that, right? A lot of people don't know about what's going on. And I think the time has come to voice out, right? So, we definitely honor our women, and I think more and more women as they start coming out and start voicing these issues, their voice matters, right?
Yes.
So, what inspired you to take this step? Coming out of your, I'm sure like we all have our family lives, we all have lives at home. What inspired you to actually make that first step to come out, start speaking about these issues? As a woman, why do you think that was important for you, and how was that like for you, and what kind of drove you to come out and start speaking about these issues?
Yeah, like we discussed, these attacks have been relentless, and we've been subject to so much propaganda that demonizes us and Hinduism, and it's very demoralizing to hear that. And the negative narratives, they have been long deployed to elicit shame and destroy pride in our traditions and civilization. So in the end, what happens is young Hindus, they end up discarding this identity, and it just seems like more trouble than it's worth, because it's always presented as if whatever social problems exist in a post-colonial society are always linked to Hinduism. So a lot of Hindus don't realize that. They feel the shame or guilt, and they end up walking away from this identity or just become deracinated, which literally means just they lose their roots. And roots, just like a well-rooted tree is strong and grows to be impressive and withstands the storms of life. Those roots are important, because without those roots, then we are just going to turn into what? Just tumbleweed, tumbling from one moment to the next, not even knowing who we are. And that is becoming a problem. And so many young people just think that the only identity that's worth holding on to is one that just apes the West. And when you ape something, what can you be? You can just be a second-rate copy of that thing. You can just be a second-rate copy of the West. So we need that civilizational pride. We need that knowledge that has held us together. So we need to keep that alive. And unless we come out and engage, that's going to be, we need a counter narrative, really, to because in the absence of a counter narrative and our voices being heard, then the only voice, the only narrative that exists, then gains legitimacy. So I felt we have to speak out.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. I think a lot of us have actually come out of our shells and started speaking about this. I know it was kind of, hard for me at first. I didn't want to actually come out and start talking about these things, but and we're all learning more, right? We're learning from each other. Ideas are being exchanged, knowledge is being, discussed, information is being exchanged. And I think we all kind of grow and we kind of learn about the issues in our society. So it's very important to speak up. So thank you so much for doing so. I'm glad you did. And then also, today is another special day. It's Holi, right? And so yesterday was Holi in India. Today it's still ongoing here in the United States. So, it is that, what is Holi for you? Some people think that it's a regional festival, right? So let's talk a little bit more about Holi. What is Holi for you? And is it really true that it's a regional festival, or is it become more of a pan-India festival now? And how is it different in some northern regions versus some southern regions? I mean, is there a difference? Do you think that this is something that is more more of a pan-Indian thing now?
Yeah, it's definitely much more of a pan-Indian thing now. Although obviously the origins were, I don't know about the origins, but just it used to be celebrated less in the South. But the origins, I would say, again, it's pan-India, but the celebration was somewhat more regional. But it's the ideas pervade Dharma. It's the welcoming of spring, like so many spring festivals. It exists in every region because we are always in synchrony with nature. So we celebrate the passing of every season, and it's the story again is it's something that every Hindu knows. I mean, it's the story of the Narsimha avatar and Hiranyakashipu, who represents arrogance and ego. And that arrogance and ego is, if you notice, I mean, in every avatar, and the Asura represents the ego. And the ego is what allows us to forget our interconnectedness. So we are always urged to slay that ego. The slaying of the Asura represents that. And Prahlad is pure in his thought, and he is immersed in his connection with the divine. Holika, who's Hiranyakashipu's sister, she represents negativity. And as we, before Holi, the actual celebration of colors, we actually have Holika Dahan, which we have some variation in every region, but that is a representation not just of burning away of junk, but also the junk and negativity that tends to sometimes accumulate within us, that we carry within us. So when you are like Prahlad and you're connecting with the inner divine, those negative emotions, thoughts, conditioning that can be a part of our life, burn away without harming us. So that's the deeper meaning that which is pan-India really. But on an everyday basis, it's a celebration of colors, and which is also so representative of Dharma, which is so colorful and full of celebration and joy.
Yeah, no, it's a very beautiful festival, in my opinion, and yeah, thank you for elaborating the spiritual side of it, right? Because everybody sees the color, everybody sees the celebration and joy, but like, what is it really about, right? And it's important to kind of connect with what it's actually about, right? And again, colors are the joy of life, right? So we all have colors all around us, and I think that also represents, life being full of being a full package, right? And so you celebrate everything, and so that you're ready to kind of experience the totality of life. So yeah, it's a beautiful festival. I think that now I think things are kind of more blending. I think more it's no longer just regional, right? So there you'll see a lot of people in other regions that are kind of adapting things that are not just local from that, and that it's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see everybody just kind of blending a little bit more together, kind of learning and adapting, and it's a beautiful festival. I love Holi. It's international. A lot of people celebrate it, so it's glad to see Indian top. What was that?
And I said the intent of Holi itself is to bring community together. It's inclusive.
Absolutely.
What is it like celebrating? Like when for you? I mean, what is it personally? How do you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a very important and awesome festival. Always grew up with all the colors. Still learning the spiritual aspect of it, right? But I think that's very important to celebrating life. So a lot of memories. I think it's also important to keep it alive, especially in places where there's not a lot of color around, right? So in India, everybody's celebrating it. But I feel like as somebody in the diaspora, I think it's very important to actually carry that forward. So so yeah, a lot of things over there. And then also, I think that it's something that has turned into this this big celebration, right? So I do feel like this is something that really almost encompasses India's ethos.
Yes.
In one festival. What do you think about that? How do you think that this festival is important, even inside of India and outside of India? And what do you think it's doing in terms of projecting what it means to be a Hindu?
Yeah, like you're absolutely right. I do think it just represents our ethos and our dharma being so. It's just like it's a coming together of colors, the diversity that we carry in our dharma, which is so colorful and full of not celebration, art, music, dance, love, joy. Nothing is really forbidden. We celebrate life with gusto. It's not monotonous. It's not monochrome. And Holi is that multicolor celebration. Captures that joyous exuberance. I feel so. I really think that's it's just so representative of that exuberance that lies within our dharma.
Yeah, that's beautiful, and I just feel like it's one of the most beautiful festivals, right? It's very very joyful, very colorful. I think it just takes a lot of people by surprise internationally, right? When they see it and they're like, "Wow, like what do you guys celebrate? You guys do celebrate life." I think it's important, right, to represent ourselves, especially about who we truly are, and be proud, right? When we always talk about this when we wear who we are on our sleeve, the world knows, and that way we were talking about narratives earlier, right? That's another way to actually, that's an answer to the false narratives that are out there about who we truly are, what our ethos is.
Yeah.
But
and it's so inclusive, actually. I mean, there's even an absurd narrative that it's trying to that Holika Dahan represents some sort of discrimination or something, which is absurd because Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad, Holika, they're all part of the same family. They just represent different, aspects, like I already spoke about. So in fact, it's an extremely inclusive idea and inclusive celebration. Everyone comes together, and in that just that color, that burst of color that you that fills the air, you don't even know half the time who's who. So, and we just it's just an extension of the fact that in our dharma, even celebrations like music and dance can be a path to uniting with the divine. So That's just
Yeah,
how.
absolutely. It's full of celebration, right? And so when we think of religion in the more traditional Western Abrahamic sense, celebration is not really given too much importance at all, right? In fact, if anything, at all, right? It's more like no celebration. It's more like repentance and all that. But we're more of a celebratory culture, and I think if we bring that, we are enriching the community worldwide, right? No matter where we go, we actually carry that with us, and then we actually it's very inclusive at the same time. These kind of festivals very, very important, and so it's very important to celebrate this with your family, right? Especially in places where people might be wondering where they can celebrate. So one such website I just want to share with everybody is eventbrite.com. For those of you who don't know, have never heard of it. For those of you who do, then that they do actually have a lot of events on that website. And a lot of Hindu temples will sometimes post these kind of festivals, and they are organizing these big festivals a lot of times: Diwali, Holi, Navratri. It's important to actually find something local to go support, attend, and to celebrate.
Yeah, finding community and building community is really important. So
absolutely. So with that, just want to thank you again for coming today, Jayanthi.
Yeah,
it's been a very big honor.
Yeah, thank you. And I wanted to just add one final note, because today is Women's Day, and I just wanted to just say that our dharma teaches us that every day is Women's Day, and every day is Mother's Day, and every moment is created and filled by Devi. She is everywhere, in everything, in every being, in every emotion, in every expression, in every experience. That's what, if you do the beautiful Devi Stuti, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu, tells us, if you pay attention, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu, O Devi, who is in all beings, Matra Rupena Samsita, that is, you are the mother. And we go on to say, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu, Matra Rupena Samsita, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu, Lakshmi Rupena Samsita, that energy of abundance, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu, Shakti Rupena Samsita, Buddhi Rupena Samsita, and intelligence, and Nidra, which is sleep even, and consciousness. So in everything that we experience and everything that we see, Devi exists everywhere. So Women's Day is not just one day. So it is for us to celebrate Devi in every form, in every aspect of the universe. So as we celebrate Women's Day and Holi today, I just would love to urge all of us to dwell on the inspiration that we can draw from our dharma, so that we can celebrate more meaningfully. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jayanthi. That was beautiful, and what a powerful message, right? In an era where women's voices are even more important than they've ever been before. They've always been important, yes. But now it's even this is a time for all women to actually voice what they truly feel, their opinions. And so what a beautiful message. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And let's all keep in mind, to honor women's voices and honor women, and just honor that Devi Shakti on all of us.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Shri, over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jayanthi, and thank you so much, Kushal, for guest hosting this. And viewers, how do you like our programming? We would like to hear from you. Please send in your comments, and also like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notification. As always, it's a pleasure having both of you, and I hope that we will have many more such profound conversations. Namaskar.
Namaskaram. Thank you.